Hey guys, it's your boy Jayson, the writer. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome also to the first episode of The Writer's Room. What is The Writer's Room, you may ask? This is what I hope will be a monthly check-in with some of the dope creatives that I've been privileged to meet since I've been here in the UK, and hopefully, you know, when I visit the US, I can have some of them on the channel as well. But today's the first episode where we just get to chat. We're going to have an informal conversation, talk about what it is to be a creative, how being a creative has fueled our lives, and you know what we're working on at the moment. So the first person on this segment or show is Mr. Phil Ossai.
Hello.
Cue the claps.
Hey.
So how you doing, my guy?
I am doing okay. I'm doing all right. I'm here.
Has the pressure changed now that you know that you're the first guest on this new show?
Yeah, I mean, there's no one to compare to, but then obviously I want to set the bar high in it. So
come on.
Yeah,
so those of you that come on after, this is who you have to be. I don't think you're going to top Phil, first of all. You're just going to be in a different lane.
you can try it, and that's the most important thing, right?
That's true.
I mean,
attempt.
I guess I want to win. So
yeah.
Well, I don't know how you win at a podcast. I want to win.
It's in the views and in the likes. Speaking of, if you're new to this channel, make sure that you have subscribed, turn that notification bell on, and drop a comment if you feel like you've enjoyed this conversation. And if anything that we say is out the way, keep it to yourself. But yeah, man. So Phil, you are a creative.
I am
at heart, and I've seen one of your projects so far, his sickle journey, and I know we've got another one coming up. But before we talk about what's about to come out, I want to get to know the beginning.
Okay.
Like, who is Phil? Now, you can drop your hospital, you can drop the name of the street that you grew up on, you can do all that. But what's important is, what street were you on when you got the creative bug? What was the house number? That's a good one.
I know where I was when I got the filmmaking bug. I've always been a creative. Like, I've been creating. I used to, it's gonna sound mad when I say it now, but like, I used to play with my knife and fork, but then they would be characters. Okay. And my siblings hated that. They hated that because like we had to stay on the table until everyone's finished and stuff like that. And I think I was just loud with it. They hated it. Basically, they hated it. Whatever story I was telling, they didn't like it. So
do you remember any of the stories?
Nah. It was some derivative of like Power Rangers or something. I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah, but when I became I knew when I became a filmmaker, it was when I was living in the blocks. I was living in Stockwell.
Hey, SW.
Yeah.
SW2, right?
SW9. But that's when I became a filmmaker. But like, I've always been a creative. Always had the storytelling, and I think it just came from like, my dad always had cameras around the house. Like, he used to record. You know, like parents used to like record everything. But he would record stuff and put it on like video, like, and we would watch them.
So
like,
he was
videos.
Okay.
Like, I've seen my older sister had birthday videos. I never had any. But she had birthday videos, and I'm like, okay, my dad's into like production, like not just recording. He's into production.
Oh, so he'll put stuff together like proper.
If he didn't do it, someone else would do it for him. He would make sure that was sorted out. Basically. I think that seeped into me subconsciously. But yeah, I've always been a creative, and then I think it was a case of my brother basically, in not these specific words, it was kind of just like, learn how to do everything. So I learned how to film, I learned how to handle audio, I learned how to edit, I learned how to do graphic design, everything. And then I've just been using those skills ever since, basically.
Do you know it's crazy, right? So, you know, I sing, right? When I was probably either late single digits or early double, I said I want to know everything about my industry, music. Had no idea about video production, graphics, or anything. So when I got to the States and I was forced to hustle, I started with graphics, then I got into video production first, and then photography. And then how I learned video production was remembering what would happen in the studio, because it was, you know how when you record, you've got multiple tracks and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was just like, okay, this is the same system. So it was kind of the same, like learn everything. And so when I I think I don't remember when I put all the pieces together and was like, oh, you actually said this prayer when you was a kid that you wanted to learn everything about it, and you've now been behind the scenes management, singing, songwriting, business, and then also everything that goes into making an artist. So that's it's good. It's a good thing to have.
It makes you appreciate every single aspect of the process, and it's like it makes you see how it all connects as well, because you can't just take something out and think you're going to get a similar product. Like when I think about what drum beat is it? I think it might be Smooth Criminal or Thriller. And I'll just think about the drum beat. I was just thinking about like all the layers that go into that production. Bro. I'm just like, yeah, Quincy Jones, rest in peace. He went in, because it's not this simple drum beat, or none of it is simple
at
but
all.
It all works. And if you take one thing out, you're just like,
something is missing.
Yeah, something's missing.
Even there's a demo recorded on YouTube of Michael Jackson's "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough," and this is before he's got all the lyrics. He's just like, okay, but you can hear all the live instrumentation.
Yeah,
and I'm like, bro, this is music magic,
symphony, man.
And the other thing I notice about being able, even if you're not excellent at every single thing, is that you know what to expect when you hire somebody in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, now don't try.
Yeah.
Why is this? You see?
Yeah.
Why is something is? Why is the ISO? What's the aperture on that? Yeah. Why are you using that? Like you could just.
Yeah, the film sets I've been on this year as well. Like when I was on production for film that we'll talk about later. But like when we bring people on, it's just like, if you guys don't know what you're doing, I know what should be done. So you guys can't cheat me in terms of like, I know what you come here to do. You better do it, because I know what that looks like.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it's a good point. I would say though, it did make me like I didn't play well with others at first.
Really?
Because I learned how to do everything quite early. So we're talking about like 15. By 15, I knew how to do most things. I wasn't great at it, but I had proficiency at it.
Yeah.
And then I realized that when I'm trying, because filmmaking is a collaborative sport. So when I'm trying to work with people, because I can't do everything at once, if they weren't up to par, I would just be like, I'll just do it myself or whatever. And then eventually it was just like, I don't play well with others. So I need to get to the point where I was like, even if it's not that great, I need to just trust that. Do you get me? Like I got to pass someone the ball eventually. Yeah. So
I can't always be a one-man show.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you remember how old you were when you got the Filmmaker bug?
Like 14, 15.
Oh, so it didn't take you long to
be. It didn't take me long at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So was it a film that you saw, or was it just something, it was just watching your dad do his thing?
I think it was a case of whatever I had. It was just like whatever medium. So I was always, I used to draw, paint, all that type of stuff. And like whenever I used to watch films that really resonated with me. So there's 3 films I'd say really resonated with me as a child. One was Stuart Little.
Okay.
The other one was Men in Black 2.
All right.
Not the first one, Men in Black 2. And the other one was Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay.
Don't know why they resonated with me. And as soon as I left the movie theater, I wanted to go home and draw what I saw. If that makes sense. 3
very different films. But it's good that it just tells you what your spectrum of like is.
Exactly.
Like you're not pigeonholed into something.
Exactly.
Men in Black 2, that was the one where they were trying to get
the Light of Orion. No, that was one. It was with the worm. The worm thing, and
what's it?
The girl, and she went.
It's K. They had to get his memory back.
No, that's 3. He lost his memory in 3, right? And he time traveled. Oh, we're butchering this.
I feel like K, because young K is 3.
Yeah.
Second one was K, because Will does that beatboxing thing in the post office. And Kay is working as a post office worker.
Yes. You're right. You're right. I was remembering them by their I usually remember them by the big bad and how they look. So the first one was the cockroach.
Yes.
The second one was the big worm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And the third one was, I think they went back to the cockroach, right?
Yeah. No, because they went back in time. So I think, yeah. And then we got the new ones that no one talks about.
Is there new? The new Men in Black?
Men in Black International.
Oh, yeah.
Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth. Yeah. We're not feeling that one.
Yeah.
They tried.
Yeah, they tried. They tried. They put Tess and Chris in there.
Yeah.
And still.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Yeah. No shade, Chris or Tessa. Like, we still love you in your other works.
I love them.
Yeah.
Not that.
Okay, so what was the first film that you saw that really was like, okay, I want to do something like this? Or was it one of those three?
There's a filmmaker called Sebastian Till.
Okay.
And he's directed episodes of Riches that was on ITV and Prime Video.
With Deborah something?
Aria yeah. And he's directed episodes of Dreaming Whilst Black, and he's directed episodes of Supercell that just came out. And he was the first black comedy filmmaker I saw in the UK. Then I was like, I want to be like him. So I want to, like, I just thought, okay, if I want to be a filmmaker, I gotta leave the UK.
Really?
Like, I always thought, yeah, I just have to. I mean, obviously the levels are different, don't get me wrong, but like, I didn't think it's possible to make entertaining comedy content in the UK until I saw his stuff. And he had a couple films out by the time I found him, but one film he had out was called Illegal Activity. It was a short film. It was about like it was kind of this red herring short film where you see all these people in the hood, majority of them are black, and they're passing around some sort of thing that's supposed to be illegal, right? And obviously the perception is, oh, they're drug dealing, right? Drugs are going around the hood. But then it's a red herring because the actual thing that's revealed is that there are books. So they're passing around books, and it's the whole idea that if books were illegal, maybe we'd read more. So it was something that like it spun my brain.
That's probably true, you know.
Oh my days, yeah, probably because books were illegal at some point for black people to read. So like, yeah, and then he had like an adaptation of Friday as well with Don't Jealous Me in it and
really,
yeah, like, he had an adaptation of that. It was a couple scenes that were released on YouTube, and he just had some stuff that was just like thought provoking. But I was just like, yeah, this guy he's the one.
Okay.
He's the chosen one. And he's gone on to do some amazing things like Just a Couple that was on BBC. That's some of my type of stuff as well. That's like romantic comedy type vibe as well.
I would never think that you were like a rom-com guy.
No one ever does. No one ever does.
If I was to say what Phil liked just from my interaction with you over the last 3-4 years, I would say I don't even know what the genre, like maybe like drama, but like not drama. You know when you see those films, that kind of like Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh, okay. Something like really grounded, gritty.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I would say. Cool. You were possibly action, but more so.
Okay, yeah. I hear that. I've sometimes people say like psychological thrillers or something like that. The type of film that like makes like you can't miss any second of it type thing. And the thing is, I think I was that type of person at first, but then I think I got to a point where I just kind of want to have fun when I'm filmmaking. Yeah. And it's not like I don't want to do those type of things. I might do them later on, but for now, yeah, I'm in my comedy bag.
But the more I've gotten to know you, I can see the comedy because you're actually hilarious. Like you're hilarious. So it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Like I can see this side. Yeah. I don't think you would enjoy it as much if you were like had to. Obviously, you know, as a filmmaker, you get to do different types of projects. But if you were like, if knowing your personality now, and then I heard that you only did like grounded, gritty stuff, I'd be like, you know, perhaps you might want to do a comedy. You might want to do a comedy.
I hear it. Like the thing is that misconceptions happen so many times, especially the way I dress sometimes, or like I usually have like a resting B face or whatever. But like, just my demeanor when because like I'm like mildly autistic in it, so my demeanor when I'm around a lot of people is quite different. But yeah, when you get me like in a certain type of environment, yeah, like I just want to have fun.
He's hilarious.
Just want to have fun.
Hilarious.
We did press for this competition that we were trying to make a romantic comedy, right? And we did some press interviews for it. And when we were trying to secure funding to do the romantic comedy, and we got to like the final stage basically, and they were doing press interviews, and the lady basically said, yeah, so romantic comedies, where did that come from? Was there like a gene missing or something? I was like, yo, a gene missing? She said I have to do Top Boy, basically. She says, what do you mean black boys doing romantic comedies? That's crazy.
Can I ask what...
how did I respond?
No. Not how did you respond. The person that asked you this question...
Oh, she was of the Caucasian persuasion.
Okay. Yeah. So black people can't laugh, basically.
Apparently, yeah. Black people can't laugh, and they can't have fun, and they can't have love at the same time. All of that's too much.
British.
Yeah, she was British. She was like northerner type thing.
Yeah, the whites in America know.
Yeah.
What we gonna do is laugh.
Yeah. I'm glad we have a renaissance of like black comedies, especially in the 90s, and it just all kind of dried up.
Yeah, like I was thinking to myself, like I remember living here before I moved to the States, and it was Desmond Street. We had Last of the Summer Wine, Keeping Up Appearances. I'm trying to think of some of the other black ones. I can't think of
the only one I remember is Desmond's. I can't lie.
I feel like that might have been the only one. Yeah. But like what happened, and then obviously I moved to the States, and then you have this like an array of options. You got My Wife and Kids, Martin, the Jamie Foxx Show, the Parkers,
All of Us,
Half and Half, the Hughley Show.
They were doing spin-offs as well. Cuts was a spin-off of 101. Like,
they had so much, and like I missed that. And obviously now I don't think it's very few shows that still film in front of a live audience. Yeah, like, but I love the live audience thing.
It's so much better.
Because then the actors have to pause before their next line. It's like, okay. And it's like trying to watch them. I'm like, I see that little tinge that you just did. Hold it.
You can see when someone's gonna break. But then I think it also has a lot of room for like improv and like because you get immediate feedback with an audience there. Like that's not funny. Don't you can tell. I think you can tell. Like for example, shows like Big Bang Theory, right? It's like syndicated. Like I mean, it's done like 11 seasons, 11 or 12 seasons, I think it was. But you can tell when someone put up a sign and said laugh. But then there's shows from back in the day when it's like everyone's acting up and like someone like the stuff that Will Smith does in Fresh Prince was like he's so expressive and it's like I think he wouldn't do that if the crowd wasn't there. Yeah,
he's playing to the crowd. Same with even like when I think about Friends as well. Friends.
I'm not a Friends fan, I can't lie.
I'm not a Friends fan.
You're living single, right?
Do you know what? Mine is Fresh Prince.
But between Friends and living single, because that's usually a thing, right? It's like
really,
that's a thing. It's like if you don't like Friends, it's likely that you really like to live in living single.
I liked Friends, and I liked living single. I would probably put them on the same thing because neither one of them were like Fresh Prince to me.
Okay, fair.
Neither one of them were like that. Like I feel like there's a lot of shows that I would put before.
But then there's a Fresh Prince versus Martin thing.
No, there isn't. There is. It's two different shows.
There is, but everyone was saying which one was like better or funnier. Like people say I'm not a Fresh Prince person, I'm a Martin person. Or like people like when I talk to some people, they're like it's Fresh Prince versus My Wife and Kids. And I'm like, why are we making these comparisons? It's like 10 years apart.
But see, that makes it a bit more sense because it's family to family.
Okay, fair. Yeah, fair play.
But Martin it's like, this is it was almost like a one-man show in a sense because he's got Shanae, he's got, the cop, he's got the guy who was teaching karate or kung fu. He's got so many different characters within that. Lil Man? Was it Lil Man? The little one. Do you know there's a little character that he does when he's on his knees and he's got snot on his nose? They used to always.
Yeah, I remember that.
So he's got a bunch of different characters.
It's quite different to be fair. Yeah. But Fresh Prince was your thing.
Fresh Prince was my thing, and I love the remake or the reimagining. I love it.
Yeah, it's cold.
It's cold. When people are like, they don't want to watch it because it's like, I'm like, listen,
so different.
It's a completely different show. Yeah, there's some lines where you can tell they're paying homage to the original.
Some storylines are basically the same. For the most part, it's basically like it's a similar premise, but I guess it's kind of like how Jordan Peele talks about how like comedy and horror are basically cousins, and a lot of stories are the same story, but you just spin it a different way. Yeah. For example, Get Out versus Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
I've never seen that second one.
Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Bernie Mac and Zoe Saldana and Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, yeah.
You bring someone home who's not a part of us. And one of them's a horror and the other one's a comedy. You feel me? Like it's a similar show. But then, with Bel Air, I think Bel Air is probably the greatest remake that I've seen because it really does respect the original show, the original writing, the original content, but then it gives its own twist. Like certain characters are brought in earlier. Certain characters have like, because it's drama. Like it's Carlton having his drug episodes and everything. Yeah, we don't want to see that in a network sitcom. Like
even seeing Hillary not being like blonde. Like, she's like she's about her business. About her business.
Yeah, she's dark skinned this time.
Yeah. Bro, the melanin on the screen for the family is just like, come on.
Boy.
Come on.
That's a dream, man. That's a dream. A whole black family on the TV? Yeah. That's a dream.
Okay. So you've talked about, you said Sebastian's Till.
Sebastian Till, yeah.
Sebastian Till. Okay, so 15 till, let's say 20. What was happening in that period?
I was just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing if it sticks. Like, I think I made my mum bought me my first camera. Then I made a film because of, so I spoke about Sebastian Till had that illegal activity film where it was like, if reading was illegal, maybe we'd read more. I tried to make a film that was a moral film. It was called Moral Obligation. It was kind of about this guy who goes home, literally, just it's like a 2-minute film. Guy goes home, he sees someone getting robbed, and he hides. Basically, he could call the police, he could do something, but he hides. And it's like, I think I can't remember. It was Martin Luther King. Someone says, you have the moral obligation to, if you see an injustice, you have a moral obligation to do something to stop it.
Listen,
so I tried to make a film around that.
You should bring that out now.
I think it's somewhere on Vimeo or something like that, probably on my account. I don't know.
Because the world that we live in that likes to record injustice versus stopping it, unless
recording can do it. Like, I know it's like the most annoying thing to see. Like, if you see something happening and someone's just recording it, it's just like, but we need evidence. Like, you can't lie. Like, evidence is important. George Floyd evidence. You feel me? Like, without evidence, there's nothing none of this happens.
It's true. But then also, like, the men that had, especially the one that jumped into the pool when that security guard, do you remember that?
No.
With the folding chair?
No.
You don't remember this? Was this last year? Maybe I'm not describing this properly. So this security guard was being harassed by the pool, and then these guys just started to jump him, and then like every one of us.
Oh, you said pool. I was thinking of an actual indoor pool. You're talking about the one on the boat, and then the guy with the chair. Yeah.
And then you see the guy just
swimming. Jumps off the boat.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, we need more of that. But I mean, we got like 4 angles of that. Like, there was cinematography involved in that moment, and that's a moment in
history. Camera 3.
I remember when we were watching, like, that was a good day. Well, I remember watching it. It was like, our new angle just dropped. So everyone watch it from this angle. No, that was good. I love that. But having everyone jump in, that's important as well.
That's important, man. I've seen so much. I remember back in my World Star Hip Hop days. Like, I used to proper watch fight compilations. Like, I'll be waiting for the next week's. And I just be like,
I think it's the same reason why everyone stops and stares at a car crash.
It's true.
There's something about that. Something about that is satisfying to our spirit, that we just need to look at something going horribly and be like, I'm glad that's not me. Until it is. But I'll just throw stuff at the wall and seeing if it sticks. Just making films. I tried to make my own version of the film Bucket List, and that's where I first started working with my writing partner now, David Ajayi. So he was an actor back. He's still an actor now, but he was just an actor back then. He wasn't writing. But yeah, tried to make, that was like my first comedy attempt. Never completed that film, but obviously I learned a lot along the way. And then I was seeing what works, like, and just, like they say put in your 10,000 hours. Like, that's what I was doing. I'll see what type of cameras I like. Because nowadays I think people just like think about how an image looks. I'm usually thinking about, most cameras look all right, but what's the usability? So like, I've used enough cameras over my time to be like, I don't care how good that camera is. I'm not using it because I want to use a camera that I like using. Do you know what I mean?
Because you'll get the most out of something that you know how to use.
You'll enjoy it more, like, especially. But I was just working on my craft, learning everything, learning how to edit, learning how to work with sound, learning how to light, cinematography, all that type of stuff. In that time.
And so, okay, so we're at 20 now, 21 to 25. What's happening in that period?
So, university, basically, I made some films at university.
Did you study film?
So I studied media production, but then you get to specialize. So I specialized in digital media, which is like animation and visual effects, which I use to this day. And then I also did single cam, which is basically film.
Okay.
So, but I also did like multi-cam as well, which is kind of TV productions, or kind of what we have here as well. But for my final year, I did single cam, and I did a film that my lecturer, I don't think he liked it because I think he thought it was a shot at him. It's like, bro, I'm barely in lectures. I don't even know you. I don't know why you think this is like, I think it was projecting, but basically it was a horror film. Imagine me doing horror, This is how I know I don't want to do horror again. But it was a horror film about, it was more of a thriller because it wasn't scary, but like it was a thriller film about a lecturer that tries to sexually assault his student, and the students kill him by accident, and I have to get rid of the body.
So why did you think?
I have no idea, but he gave me bad vibes ever since he knew about the film, and yeah, whatever the reason was.
We need to investigate that lecturer.
Boy.
That's what we need to do.
Boy.
We need to do that.
But yeah, it was called Framing Dr. Wilson. I still have it, to be fair, on my YouTube, but yeah.
What YouTube is this?
My personal YouTube, because I was releasing them and I was just like, nah, it's all on private now.
Yeah.
So maybe one day I might just like release it.
Yeah. So drop it.
But yeah, I was just still making films, just at a higher production level.
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of running, so stuff that I think some people aren't humble enough to do nowadays. But to just go on a production and be like, hey, can I help out? Can I be a runner? Can I learn? And I was just learning a lot. And then I learned a lot on this production of a series called Brothers with No Game.
Okay.
By Leon Main. It was one of my favorite things to come out of the UK, and I wish it did more. But the stuff I've heard about it behind the scenes as to why it didn't get pushed is like, cool, that's fair enough. But
okay,
it's not bad stuff. It's more like the industry wanted to change it so much. But it was about these like four black boys basically and their love lives, and it was dope. Like, it was dope, and I loved it so much. I met so many talented people on there. Some people I still talk to this day that I still look up to because they're like still doing their thing as well. But yeah, I was just jumping on as many productions as I can. I learned a lot about cinematography, just so again, like no one can cheat me out of any production. So I don't look at the monitor and be like, why does this look crap? I'd be like, I know why this looks crap because that thing needs to be moved there. I just learned a lot. Still learn about production, but then also just jumping on as many sets as I can so I can learn from experts.
Nice. And so now your journey was. Before we get to this, well, I'll say the name of it. His Sickle Journey. Was that your first production, like major thing that you did?
It was the biggest thing at the time. Like I've always been shooting films, big or small. It was my biggest thing at the time, and it was my longest film at the time as well. Before that, I had done a gospel comedy web series.
What?
This is the thing. I don't know why everyone like. I feel like everyone should have known about it, especially at our church, but I'm not going to say that. No, because real talk, I was putting in work, man. I was promoting that all the time.
What year was this?
2018, 19.
Okay, so I can claim.
You were.
I went here.
But yeah, people be like, oh, Phil, when are you going to come and start making gospel content? I was like, I did it. You guys didn't see it because no one cared.
Is it still available to watch?
Out. Yeah, I love it.
On your
YouTube.
Your YouTube or Room 113?
Room 113.
Okay, 113, sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's there. It's gospel comedy web series about a pastor, a young pastor, a new pastor, and he's counseling his wacky church members. So there's a couple, and I love it so much. There's a couple who, for example, haven't had sex because they've been told their whole life that sex is bad and wrong. And so they can't just turn it on. Yeah. They're just struggling. They can't
literally and figuratively.
Choir members who like beefing over solos and that type of stuff. Like there's someone who wants their offering back because they can't. It's so good, man. Minister in Training. I loved it. And then Kev on stage copied it. I'm joking. I don't know if you copied it or not. But people would come up to me, they're like, Kev on stage stole your thing. And I was like, I don't know if he did. I don't know. It's the internet. Could he have seen it? Maybe. I don't know. But he basically did the same thing. And when I watched some of the episodes, I'm like, this is almost the same setup. The pastor's on this side, the council's on that side. His production was definitely better. But like, and he's a bigger guy. But you don't feel it?
I like Kev on stage. I can't lie. I like, especially because I've watched him grow. Because I remember when it was him, his brother, and another guy. That used to do stuff together, and then to see where he is now. Got his own production company. He's got a show on BET. He's got a podcast. Like the
show on BET is a spin-off of the show of the web series he did, basically. So Churchy, is on BET, and it's a spin-off of his version, or not his version of, but like. Yeah, his version of Minister in Training. I guess I could just see it like I did the UK office, he did the office US, and his thing is.
Would you ever bring Minister in Training back?
No.
Why?
I don't really want to. I'm not in the space to make gospel content.
I'll audition to be the pastor, bro, or one of the wacky.
Yeah, I think you would make a good pastor. I'm being being serious.
On film.
Yeah. No, real talk. Because I think you'd make a good like. Yeah, no, I can see it. Yeah. I think I would like executive producer. I don't want to make it though.
All right. Father Lord, you know what my prayer was to you 2 days ago. So,
rah. Okay.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Okay, so we've now got to, so you've done a gospel web series, you've done hold on, there was something else you just said.
Oh, sorry, no, I said I did that before I got to His Sickle Journey.
Yeah.
So His Sickle Journey came like a year and some change afterwards. And that was like middle of the pandemic type vibe. You know, like when everything was bad, then it got a bit better.
Yeah.
That's when we filmed, and then everything's got bad again and all that stuff. But yeah, that was my biggest project to date. I think it was a case of like, Dave and I were in the writer's room all the time. Hey, writers. Yeah. In the writer's room all the time. And we watched the film Instant Family with Mark Wahlberg. And that had like the film about like adopting children. Yeah. And we were like, yeah, we can do that. We can do a film with a PSA. So we thought, what cause is really close to home? And it was sickle cell. So it was like, okay, cool, let's do a romantic comedy about sickle cell. And this is before we ever went by the rom-com guys. We just knew that we wanted to do a rom-com. And yeah, it did all right. It did well.
One thing I liked about the color grading for His Sickle Journey was that it didn't remind me of the UK.
Oh, okay, because it was colorful.
Yeah, it was very warm.
Okay. Yeah.
It was very warm. And I think
that.
I remember I told you when I watched when I saw Supercell, sorry.
Yeah.
It was playing on, you know, the Netflix homepage, but I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was an American show.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I was at a birthday party and they was like, oh no, it's British. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not used to warm color for my people.
Yeah.
And so when I was watching it kind of reminded me almost of the same kind of color grading as some scenes in Insecure.
Yeah, it's definitely a big inspiration.
I was like, I like this.
No, I can dig it. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Like in Supercell, they had Peckham looking like Miami.
Bro, I was like, what is all this color? Where?
We don't have this much color in real life.
Bro,
they found the color.
I don't know how.
They found the color, yeah.
Because that opening scene is what was playing on Netflix. And that's what I was like, okay, mine's in a sports car.
Yeah, a really nice blue sports car. You got the red buses going back. A lot of primary colors in that. They dress well.
Yeah.
This is something that like I've taken into my work. So like now, after watching, for example, stuff like that, Insecure, and one of my favorite directors, Edgar Wright, when he did his film Baby Driver, and I watched like the breakdown of that. So like his thing was like he wants all his characters to be easily drawable. So like even if you can't draw, you could draw something and get it right. And a lot of that has to do with color. So now like anytime I make a film, I don't want any of my characters wearing black unless it's like really important, black or grey.
That's good.
Unless it's like really important to their character.
Yeah.
Nah, I want them to pop on screen.
That's good. Because I think that scene was shot in Deptford, right?
Which one?
That first opening scene where he's pulling up next to his girl.
Peckham. Yeah.
I was like, what? Where in Peckham?
Yeah.
What I did like about
Peckham
that
film
was how they highlighted a lot of actual businesses and spotlight. I was like, yeah, this is a good shout. And I feel like a lot of times when Black British filmmakers do stuff in the area, they show businesses. Even when I saw, like when I was watching His Sickle Journey, y'all pay attention to how many times I'm saying His Sickle Journey, okay? When I was watching His Sickle Journey, I was like, oh, Gypsy Hill, Crystal Palace. I was like, it was nice. And even just like the tone of the film, and it's a nice watch, 29 minutes or so, something like that. So you can do it you can watch it on your lunch break at work. If you're working remote. But no, it was just very, very warm. And I think watching it now, because I watched it fairly recently, but watching it now after having more conversations with Tito, who's at her sickle journey, watching Supercell, it's like a better understanding, especially because there's a few other people in that we know that have the gene, is that right? Am I saying this right?
Trait, or
the
like
trait.
They live with sickle cell.
Yeah. That have the trait. So it's like watching it is like, okay, it's a better understanding. Yeah. And I can appreciate it more than something that's far away from me. You know? So how was that process like writing that?
So Tissa was like a massive inspiration for it. Like she's got a picture, and we posted it on Instagram as well. But she got a picture where like when we came up with the idea on a whiteboard, we drove over to her house that night, and we showed her, we're like, we need you to tell us whether this works, basically. And yeah, she was a massive part of it. And yeah, the title was basically derivative of her actual brand, Her Sickle Journey. But the whole process was good. Like, as a filmmaker, I think I really grew a lot. That was the first time I was working with quite a big crew. A lot of them were like, a lot of the crew is friends. So there is obviously the difficulty of like working with friends where like you kind of want to have fun, but also you're here to make a film. So you kind of have to work on that balance. But yeah, as a film, it was good. Like the experience was good. I grew a lot. That was the first time I did like multiple screenings for my film. Like we screened it at Croydon Sickle Cell Center. We screened it at 2 different schools. Got called to do talks and that type of stuff. I think everyone thought I was an expert in sickle cell. I'm not an expert in sickle cell. It did teach me a lot. Like I had to learn a lot, especially because I'm AS myself. Do you know what I mean? So knowing that I have to know my stuff in it if I want to make a film, right? So I learned quite a bit, but yeah, it was a good experience, man. And then yeah, once that whole run was done, we just released it on YouTube. So yeah, it's on YouTube now. You can check that out. Yeah,
Room 113.
No, that's on. It's not real.
It's not. It's on Million
Youth Media, so MYM on YouTube. But we did a documentary around the film as well, which is on Room 113. But
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's like a 20-minute documentary. It's just breaking down the film a little bit. But yeah.
All right, and so now from his sickle journey, I've said it again, to where we are today. What has happened so far before we get to what's about to pop off?
Okay, so it's been a lot of ups and downs. It's been a lot of applying for funding and not getting it because there's only so many times I can be putting my own money into stuff. Like it's very difficult, but I'm still I'm gonna make films anyway. Do you know what I mean? So I've invested a lot in myself, invested a lot in equipment, I've invested a lot in editing software, the know-how, networking, all that type of stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of applying, a lot of rejecting, a lot of trying to get into writers' rooms, a lot of like, just trying to meet filmmakers and that type of stuff. And I think, so what happened was like late last year, so perhaps around maybe this time last year, got to like the final round of some funding basically for a film. And this is the film where we did the press interviews. They were like, no, this is the competition where we did the press interviews and the lady was like, was there a gene missing basically? So like, yeah, we literally got to the last 2 and they said no. And they went with someone else for the funding basically. So we didn't leave with nothing. We got some connects. We got like, we got a little bit of money that we invested and yeah, we got some connects and yeah, we met quite a few people, but it was a frustrating feeling because it was like, we need voices like you guys are unique, that type of stuff. And Ryan Lane had come out like mid last year, I think it was. Yeah. And everyone was just like, see, this is a breath of fresh air. We need this stuff. And I was like, I've been trying to get this stuff off the ground. But the UK is difficult because the UK tends to be behind. So like, when we're talking about that the renaissance of like black sitcoms back in the day, the UK probably could have invested in some, but they didn't. What they'll do is that they'll invest in a channel like Trouble, which was, I love Trouble, but they'll just put all their shows on the network. And then they'll just be like, hey, here you go.
Or it was Biker Grove or Grange Hill.
They could have had
all
their
these
own.
Streets.
Yeah, Waterloo Road. they could have had their own, but the UK is behind, man. So something brilliant and amazing like Ryan Lane comes out and suddenly everyone's like, yeah, we need these voices. And I'm like, I'm trying. And then, we didn't secure that, but everyone was like, yeah, we still need these voices. And just through the frustration of that, it was just like, I don't know what we're going to do this year. Whatever it is, it's going to have to be the biggest thing we've ever done, basically. Like the biggest thing we've written, longest thing we've written, biggest cast that we've like ever worked with. And we're going to try and do a screening. Now, we've done screenings before, but they were kind of just like smaller screenings. I think the most amount we did is like 100 people. And that was for his sickle journey the first time. But then it was like, no, we're going to try and do something massive. And that's basically what led us to our new film, Christmas Games Night. Basically.
Christmas Games Night. Okay, now you guys, we've had some hors d'oeuvres, we've had some, some bread to get us to now. This is the main course, Christmas Games Night. Now, before we get into this film, I want the audience to know that your boy Phil is a fanatic for games. So this is I don't know what to even expect from this film, but I feel like I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's Phil. yeah. He's a very competitive guy, and he's also quite chaotic. And sometimes when we're in the same space, I'm always like, let's just be chaotic together. Yeah. I might be terrible at the game, but I'm gonna say something just to get people riled up and just watch the drama and chaos and flow. Because that's the best part of a games night. It's actually not playing the games. It's watching people react.
The game is not important.
It's not. It's not. It's not. It's the bragging. It's the vim. It's all of that. It's all of that. But Christmas games night. How much can you tell us about this film?
So Christmas Games Night is a romantic comedy about three friends who have linked up for the first time, like properly since university time. They were meant, like they were close, like they were meant to link up every single week, and they never did. Life got in the way, and it was just like, okay, cool, like we're in the same space, we need this. Let's run a games night, and because we all had terrible dating experiences, let's invite someone for each of us. It should go great, right? And it just doesn't. So it's very chaotic. But it's like you said, man. Like I feel like anyone who's been to a games night with black people, because I've never been to a white games night. I've never been to like a games night. I've been to like a mixed games night, but I've never been to a games night where it's like a majority of one type of people. But I just know black games nights, no matter what environment, no matter who's there, they all seem to go a certain way.
And that's, I feel like, both in the UK and I've been to games nights in the US.
Same thing.
You've heard about the game Spades?
Yeah. Crazy.
The way, like, if you don't know how to play spades, you're finished. Like, you can't play. You can't play. It's like, well, just teach me. It's like, nah, we're not teaching you. We ain't gonna teach you.
I feel like that's us with blackjack. Like, with blackjack, everyone gets mad. What rules are we playing with?
You're not allowed to do that. Uno.
Uno, yeah. I can't lie. You know, I'll say this. We have an Uno scene in the film.
I love it.
It is just loud. It's like the loudest. It's the loudest scene. It's just the most argumentative scene. And yeah, it's one of my favorite scenes. Like, yeah, we were going to release it. Then we're just like, nah.
Keep it for the film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chaos, man.
So what was the process for you? Because you said you wrote this with your writing partner, David Ajayi.
Yeah.
And so how long did it take you to finish the script?
Well, we have to work out like character first. Like once we solidified character, the script kind of writes itself. Like we had code names for characters at first. So we had the hopeless romantic, we had the finance bro, and we had the creative F boy. Basically, like he loves girls too much, and he's just like
gallus.
Yeah, he's. Then we made him like really spiritual. So like he's just like he loves star signs and yeah, he loves the universe type thing.
Okay, Imhotep.
Yeah, he don't go that far. Far.
Okay.
I want to do a Hotep character so bad. Let's get my Dr. Umar on. But,
gosh.
And then we had codenames for the guys at first, and then once we had that, we were just kind of like building around that. So when we started writing the scripts, like from when we like wrote the first page of the script, I don't think it took long at all, to be fair. Because especially like when Dave and I really love a project and we're really into it, we can end up writing so much in one session that's just like, I guess we got like 20% less to go.
Yeah,
just figure that out. But I'd say the script was never truly finished until we wrapped filming, because we even added scenes when we were filming. We were like, because everyone knew characters so well that we're just like, have we got time? We spoke to the first AD. We're like, have we got time? Can we do this? Can we add this? And I was like, cool, let's quickly do a scene where this thing happens. And we told the actors, and they're like, let's do it. And then it kind of becomes a bit of improv. So like the Uno scene, for example, that's what that was. That was never part of the original script. But then we kind of just like, let's add this in. And it'll be like, guys, we're going to do an Uno scene, but you guys are still going to be in character. And then we talk about it with the actors, and it's just like, all right, cool. How would this character respond in this scenario? What would this character do? And that type of stuff. And then, but scenes were being written as we went on, because the actors understood the characters so well. They were just like, let's just try it. Yeah, let's try it.
And so then casting for this.
Yeah.
So you've written the script. Now you've got to get the right people involved. So did you have like auditions, or did you just reach out to the people that you knew? You know what? I know you got this.
I've actually never done auditions ever.
Really?
Like I've done small auditions. Like I've asked a character to an actor to send like a self tape. I've reached out to people like, hey, could you be in this? Like I've done small auditions, but they didn't really ever go anywhere with those type of projects. But with this one, it was a case of, so David plays the lead. So that's my writing partner. He plays the lead. And then we have Tio Garshong, who was in Minister in Training as well. So the majority of the actors are people I've worked with in some way, shape or form. Once before. But yeah, Tio is just, he's an amazing comedy actor. And he kind of took a hiatus from acting. But this was his first time back acting since Minister in Training. So we're talking about almost 3 or 4 years or something like that he was out. But we just knew that him and David are going to work together, and it's just going to be like SNL, like, or in Living Color. Like, they're just going to, it's going to be a comedy sketch every single time with them because they're so hilarious together. Yeah. And then, yeah, we added Tevin Diola, who plays Cole, and I had worked with him when we did His Sickle Journey. So he plays the roommate.
The one that just didn't know anything.
He didn't know anything.
It was like, does she have chemo?
Yeah, does she
get chemo?
Does she start chemo? It's like, no, she just has sickle cell, bro.
But it's like, is it contagious?
Yeah, it's contagious. Yeah, he was so. That's how we added him, because he was so good, and he was so good with like one-liners, and he was so good with improv as well. That like, I just knew as a director, I just needed to create an environment where these actors feel confident and safe enough to try stuff, because we've written a script, we love the script, but it's like, okay, you know the script, what else can you bring? Because like I said, filmmaking is a collaborative process. I need to hear your ideas as well, and that's the type of that's kind of what I learned about myself this year as well. I'm the type of director where I'm just like, well, we already know what the material is saying. What are your thoughts? Because we might want to play this not necessarily different from the material, but we might want to add something, or you might even come up with something that's funnier than what has been written, and that's literally fine. So yeah, he had so many of those moments. And then we had Stacey Ampia Roberts, who plays Priscilla, and she we had worked with. Well, Stacey's a friend. We worked with her on His Sickle Journey as well. She was one of the other roommates. But yeah, we worked with her bare time. She was in Minister in Training as well. She worked. She was a scene partner with Tio, so they played the couple that hadn't had sex. It's crazy. Yeah, some Christians thought I made porn. It was crazy.
What?
I should have just dropped that. Basically, there was a Christian filmmakers group chat I was in at the time, and it's like, okay, Christian filmmakers, let's share it. Hey guys, this is what we did. And they were like, oh, this is basically audible porn. And we were just like, oh, okay. Well, that wasn't the intention. We weren't trying to make porn, but I guess if that's the way you see it, then it's
some people too saved.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not like we made an episode of Insecure. Like, it was crazy. But anyway,
yeah.
But yeah, Stacey's amazing. She plays like that girl next door type. Yeah, so she kind of there's one she's in the middle of one of the love triangles basically. Then we have Ali Ifenadu, who plays Steph, and I had seen her live at a theatre performance for Roll Your Sleeves with Eve by the wonderful playwright Shamila. And that David was in that as well, but then I had saw Ali and she was amazing. So David spoke to her about it, and we were just kind of just went back and forth a little bit, and then she was fantastic. And then the last person was the most of a wild card. So she plays the romantic lead in the film. She plays a massive role, but it was a massive risk at the time, because I seen her stuff when she sent it, but I had met her at a screening in like January, and she called herself the rom-com girl. And we're just like, oh, okay, fair. Yeah. But she just literally shot a shot, and she was just like, yeah, I want to be in rom-coms.
Oh wow.
Fair. Cool. Let's see what we can do, basically. And then when we were writing the script, it was like, do we think Michelle? So her name's Michelle. Michelle Aramide. Sorry, she wants me to pronounce this correctly. Michelle Aramide. Do you want me? Do you think Michelle could play this character Kelechi? And we're like, can she? I don't know. We went back and forth, and it was like, no, I think she can do it. I think she can do it. So we saw her stuff, and it was like, yeah, I think she can do it. And then she came through, and she was amazing. Like, I think she's a filmmaker but she doesn't know it yet. Yeah. I think I think she's gonna start writing soon, but she's a filmmaker because she's got a filmmaker's brain. Like, she was like, what about if this character? She wasn't even barely in this scene, but she'll be like, what about if this character entered this way? Or what if they did this? Or what about if the camera cut at this moment? She just came to me. She was like, have you thought about that type of stuff? Yeah. I was like, oh snap, okay, cool. No, you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
But she was amazing. So yeah, a lot of the actors that we worked with are people that we've worked with before in some way, shape, or form. But then besides Michelle, who we had never worked with before, and yeah, but we never done auditions before. Might do it for the next thing. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, I'm gonna make sure I remember this question to ask you. 2 questions to ask you once we finish talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so you've got your script, you've got your cast, you begin shooting. We've talked a little bit about how it was important to you to create a safe space for the actors to kind of play with their characters. You know.
Yeah.
All right, so when you hit rap, okay, that's a rap.
Mm-hmm.
What was going through your mind at that moment?
There's a video of it. Like,
really?
There's a video of me shouting, "That's a rap on Christmas games night."
Yeah.
And I just felt weak. I wanted to collapse.
Yeah.
Because I think there's this thing that like my wife Darren and I, we used to, when we don't know how we're going, but we're still going, we used to call it Jesus juice. So like we're just high on Jesus juice. But I just that final day of like that final day was crazy. So I don't know how I just kept going, basically.
Yeah.
At some point, I wanted to quit. Even though it was the last day of shooting, I was like, not that I want to quit and end the film, but I was kind of just like, let's just organize this for another day because mentally I'm not where I need to be. But then somehow we just kept going and we made it through. David basically taught me off a cliff because I was ready to jump. And yeah, when we finally wrapped and I had to say it's a wrap on Christmas games night, I just wanted to collapse. At that point, it's just like, what? I don't need to be strong anymore.
Yeah, it's true. I don't need to be
strong. I was trying to be strong for everyone continuously. Everyone came to me with questions, or as they should. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, people were looking to me as a source of strength. My energy has to be up. Yeah. Like I realized that, like I did like some directors workshops and stuff like that this year, and one of the feedback I was given from one of the actors was just like, I had an infectious energy. And I was like, what? Me?
You actually do.
What are you talking about?
You do.
Apparently, yeah.
When you're switched on, Phil, when you're switched on, it's because I get it. You know, sometimes when you're, like for me, I've been told at times that I have a demeanor that says I'm unapproachable. Okay. And that's when I'm switched off. Like that's when I'm like, all my mind is going, and so I'm just there like this. Even sometimes I have to catch myself because I'm constantly going into and then I'll just rest here with this. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm actually good. I'm fine. Yeah. But now you like it's there.
Okay.
It's there. Okay. It's there, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I have to, like, especially if I want to be a comedy, and I am a comedy director, but as a comedy director, like it's I feel like I can't, if I want to bring out the best, if I want to, not just me, not any other comedy directors. If I want to bring out the best in my actors, I feel like I need to be up there with them. I need to be floating ideas. I need to be there. I need them to feel like they can joke with me and I can joke with them. Yeah. Like I need them to feel like I'm not gonna ask them to do anything I wouldn't do myself. Yeah. Type thing. So like when we filmed on the last day, it was quite a hot day during the day because you know how the UK be. But it was a hot day during the day, and the actors are wearing hoodies, and I was like, I'm gonna wear a hoodie as well. And everyone's like, Phil, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. Like, I understand. We get the sentiment, Phil. You don't have to do this. And I was like, no. I want to do this because I want to feel like I'm in the trenches as well, and that goes for the comedy as well. So I want everyone, the actors, to feel like, yeah, I can joke with them. But yeah, after I yelled rap.
It was curtains.
No one talked to me.
How long did it take to film?
10 filming days over 3 months.
Wow.
So it was a case of like scheduling, really. But yeah, 10 filming days over 3 months.
Well done, man.
Thank you.
I haven't even seen it yet, but I'm really excited to
appreciate it.
See it. All right. What was the question I had now? I know what the second of the questions was. The first question was, do you see yourself ever being in front of the camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I used to act. I used to do musicals. I used to sing, act, and dance. Then my voice broke and I stopped training it. Yeah. So now every time I sing, it's just to annoy my wife. Because she's like, what key are you in? And I'm like, can you just relax? I just want to sing Usher. She's worried about, anyway.
So if I wanted to put you in a play, would you do it?
Nah.
Why?
Because it's going to be a gospel play. I don't want to do gospel.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. Did you see Home for Christmas?
No, actually, I didn't. I wasn't able to.
You need to watch that.
It's filmed, right?
It's filmed. It's on. Okay, we'll be releasing Home for Christmas officially once I've chopped down the footage, probably towards the end of this month.
Yeah.
But yeah, Home for Christmas, it's definitely faith-based, and there's moments, but it's not churchy. Rebirth was churchy.
Okay.
This one isn't.
Okay,
so
no, I hear
much.
that.
This one isn't.
Would
so
I
much.
do it? Yes.
Okay.
If the role's right, if it feels right, I'll do it.
I'm gonna think about this one now, because you said something about directors like creating a safe space, and like I remember I remember what film it was that something switched in my brain when I started to watch TV or film. It was 300.
Ooh.
I was watching 300 and I was like, yo, this cinematography is crazy.
Yeah,
obviously, I didn't know the
dark,
West cinematography.
gritty,
I just loved, like, the reds were really red and everything. And then I watched Grindhouse, where it was Planet of Terror, and I forgot what the other one was. It was Quentin Tarantino and Michael Rodriguez. Was it Planet of
What year is this?
Grindhouse. It was Grindhouse Films. This was our stateside. Oh, this is gonna bother me, but I remember
After Kill Bill.
Yes.
The Hateful Eight. Was it the Hateful Eight?
No, it wasn't Hateful Eight, but I love that as well.
Yeah, that's a good film.
What's in it? Rose McGowan. Okay, Rose McGowan was in the Planet of Terror side of the film, but the other one, Grindhouse. It was two films in one. Yeah. So it was Grindhouse and Death Proof. And I remember watching that and I'm thinking, yo, this is crazy. And so ever since then, like, yes, I'm watching, even when I watch reality TV, I'm watching the color. Like, how is reality TV colored differently from fiction? How it, and then I would hear stuff where back in the day, I'm not sure whether they still do it as much now, but like, cop shows had like a blue tint, and then hospitals had like a green tint, and then like something like Scandal, you will never find a still shot in Scandal because the intention is to keep action going. I was like, well, I never thought about it like that. And so now, you start paying attention to stuff. So when I wrote Rebirth last year, that was just a challenge to myself, like, let me see if I can do it. And then I was like, all right, Rebirth was like 25 pages, bare songs, Then Home for Christmas was less songs, and that was 105 pages. And I remember coming into that, I was in it. So I was like directing, but in it at the same time.
There's a Washington. Come on.
And I was in it at the same time, but I remember wanting to, again, give room. Like, I think my style of leadership is, okay, identify what you're strong at and then play on it. So now as we get to this one, The Angels Cry, December, it's like, okay, I'm not in this one at all. And thankfully I couldn't, as I was writing it, I couldn't see a space for myself in this one. And I didn't want to Tyler Berry my way in. I said, listen, the gift is a gift. Be responsible with it. And so, like, I'm excited to really step into director mode and actually focus from that standpoint and see what I can learn. Just focusing on that and doing whatever God wants to do with these characters for this play. But I feel like and I don't know whether you identify yourself as this, but you're definitely a leader. So it's always important and obviously you've talked about the importance of creating an environment where the people that are supporting your vision or following your lead can actually play to their strengths and play to what works for them. Because then ultimately they're always going to, like, even if you give them the opportunity, you're like, this doesn't work, it's always going to be appreciated that you actually gave them a chance to try it out.
Exactly.
And so I'm excited to see what, obviously I'm about to get real churchy. I'm excited to see what God is going to do through you, through Christmas, Christmas Games Night. I appreciate it. When is that dropping?
So screening's on the 28th of November. That's a Thursday. Tickets are still available, Eventbrite. Okay. So just type in Christmas Games Night premiere. And 28th.
Now, I want the audience to know that I would not fix myself to sit up and interview this filmmaker without buying my ticket. The hypocrisy would have been loud.
You don't see Jayson there, that's kind of...
You know the ones where the person's like, oh, did you listen to the album? You're like,
That's basically like Hot 97. Ebro in the morning. They never listen to.
Did you watch this? Did you watch the film?
Yeah.
You know, I know what it's about. I got the blurb that they sent you sent me before you came on.
Yeah.
No, but I was. As soon as you put it in the group chat, I was like, let me do this right now, because if I say I'll do it next week, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
I hear that.
And it's in my calendar. So November the 28th. This is obvious. This is definitely coming out before November 28th. So if you're watching this, make sure you get yourself a ticket so that you can be part of this and do your own games night for Christmas.
Yeah, man.
You know,
I hope you see something and you're inspired.
Yeah.
Because I think, like we said, the games night aren't about the games. It's about the vibe. It's the environment. Even if it gets rowdy, man, rowdy can be good sometimes.
It's the one game that I think I introduced at my birthday that I had played like a month before was Exploding Kittens. The chaos.
Crazy.
The chaos.
That was crazy. At some point, I was just instigating. I was like, "Oh, yeah." I was just like, "I'm not sure what's going on."
But
I don't know what that card does, but I know that person cheated. So I was gonna be like, "Hey."
It was so chaotic. The way people were arguing in the house, I was sitting there, I was like, "Mission accomplished. Come on, y'all better argue in this place."
Yeah. No, I love that. That. That was crazy. And I was hot off the Kendrick versus Drake beef as well. So
oh yeah.
At some point, I was because I think one of your friends liked Drake.
Oh really? Start singing Kendrick. You see, this is what I'm talking about.
He didn't like that.
I love chaos.
Yeah. No, that was fun.
But chaos, that's like banter. Yeah. We're not fighting for real.
Personal.
Yeah, we're not fighting. Like, some people take it personal. And it's actually funny when you're watching it. You're mad.
Yeah, he's mad. He is mad.
Because of a game.
Yeah. It was only when I was watching Christmas Games Night again. I was like, oh, I didn't realize that, like, subconsciously I wrote this person into this character. So,
oh, really?
Like, one of the characters, Kalechi, like, my cousin, when she sees it, she might be like...
Was she at your...
My cousin's she's more competitive than I am.
Was she at your birthday?
Yes. Yeah, she was.
Oh.
Yeah, she's more competitive. She's more competitive. Like, she's into games.
I love it.
And yeah, I kind of wrote her into Christmas Games Night subconsciously. Like,
and the thing is, for me, like, when I tell people, as soon as I know it's about to be a games night, I don't even know. I don't care what game it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to start talking hella crap. From before.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I never lose.
Yeah.
I'm always on the winning team. What game are we playing? Do you know how to play this? No, but I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Like,
literally.
What are you doing? I will start looking at, I will undress, like, go from head to toe and be like, but you're wearing those? Like, how do you expect to win? Just so that I can answer. I'm a terrible bowler, but would you guess that? From before I play and while I'm playing, and even after I have embarrassed myself, would you know?
Absolutely not.
No.
You'd be trash talking when you're hitting golf balls and you're like, yeah, but these times.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. But these times, like, what? These times, I'm from Southwest London, so just we say something.
What's he talking about? Yeah. Oh, man, every time I come to your house, the microwave's on high. Like,
but are you talking to me with your induction stove? Calm down.
Defrost your fridge.
It doesn't matter what.
It don't matter what it is.
It'll be artificial plants. What are you saying right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but that's the sweetness of games nights, man.
Yeah, I love it. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I am thoroughly excited about what you're about to do and for the projects that you're not allowed to talk about yet.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see when those, become public, and maybe we can have you back on the writer's room to talk about that and talk about the journey from Christmas Games Nights to Project X, Project Y, Project Z, Project A, all of that. It'll be nice. All right. I'm going to ask you this one thing, right?
Okay.
Because I've done this with my podcast partner once before.
Okay.
I was like, all right, you said ministers in training. You want to do improv scene?
Sure.
All right. I'm the minister.
Sure.
You're going to come in with whatever element, issue.
What's the genre here? Are we doing...
It could be whatever you want.
Okay, cool.
No limits.
Right.
No limits.
Start from now?
Start from now.
Okay, Pastor Jayson. I just want to say that I was in worship I wasn't in worship. I mean, I was sitting there and I was worshiping. I was sitting in the congregation. I was in the middle, but like the back middle towards the left.
Okay.
And I was worshiping. It was great. It was great. And then so you see sister that was leading the choir. I think I'm in love with her, and I don't know how to tell her that she should be my wife. And I just feel like if you could find a Bible verse that could somehow just bridge the gap, and I can just go to her and be like, hey, because it says in between Genesis and Revelations, I just feel like that would be great. So what do you think about that?
Brother Phil, she's married, right?
I can still save her
from
her husband.
You want me to find a Bible scripture for you to save her from her husband?
Yeah, because that's important, right? Like she needs to. Yeah, I don't think her husband just like he's an usher. And I just feel like we can usher him out of this marriage.
What do you do in the church?
What do I do? Bare stuff, bro. We're talking offering.
As in you give offering?
No, I offer. I offer. That's what I do. I offer.
Yeah.
So I offer offering.
Okay.
It's my field goal percentage.
Were you just speaking in tongues just then?
A little bit. I feel like I offer that as well. That's one of the things.
Praise the Lord.
Okay, that's one of the things I offer. Sometimes I teach youth, and I just teach them they need to be taught. So,
I'm just gonna stop you there for now because
that's just two of the things, by the way.
I don't think that's any of the things.
No, it's all important. It's all
I mean, yes, you're fulfilling scripture by saying offer yourself as a living sacrifice to the Lord, but I think in that, you've also missed the part of the sacrifice.
Right.
Because one of the 10 commandments is thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, right?
Depends on how you see it.
I don't think there's how
because I mean, it's a technique like VAR. Are they even married?
VAR.
Yeah, virtual assistant referee. Like I feel like we need to go back and look at the footage. We need to look at the wedding video. Are they actually married?
They are married. I married them. I am the one that said what the Lord
marry them though.
Yeah, what the Lord has joined together, let no man put us under. That's what I said on their wedding day.
That's why I need a Bible verse to put us under.
But there's no you can't do that.
I just feel like she could do better.
I feel like you need to do. I feel like you need to do better in your Christianity.
Oh no!
Like, do you know the Lord?
Yeah, no.
How long have you been come to this church?
Go way back.
I don't think the Lord daps.
The Lord daps.
Nah, he didn't.
The Lord daps.
The only hand gestures that I know of the Lord was when his arms were stretched out on the cross of Calvary.
Yeah, so he can dap.
Yeah, but his arms didn't come back together. He died like that.
Oh man.
So, like, what are we gonna do about this? Because I can't have you in my church trying to tear up marriages. That sounds like something from basketball.
I'm not trying to tear up the marriage.
Or trying to find a scripture to destroy a marriage.
Is it destroyed though? Like, I feel like we could all do better. This is the thing. I feel like in this paradigm, they're not together anymore. And yeah, he's ushering, but maybe he's ushering at like a D1 level. Like, I don't know.
This paradigm doesn't exist in our reality though.
It could. I feel like it could with the Bible verse. But we just need the Bible verse. I feel like if we just work together, we could find that Bible verse, and it could
I'm not working with that.
Oh,
Brother
no?
Phil.
Really?
There's no way. I'm probably going to send you a letter soon.
Right. Resignation letter. I've been offering too much. This is the thing. You shouldn't offer that.
No, I think maybe this is not the place for you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm going to have to cast you aside.
Dang. Like that?
Yeah, like the pig, like Jesus drove the pigs off the cliff.
I'm a pig?
I don't know. It's kind of demonic trying to break up a marriage, so I don't know what to tell you about that, brother.
Call me swine because sister was fine.
Oink.
You know what I'm saying? I just need to. Sister was fine. Call me swine. You know what I'm saying?
Father in heaven, I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at the situation because this is quite laughable.
Dang.
Yeah. You can go. You can go.
Well, okay.
You can go.
I'm gonna go Spec Nation.
I knew I saw you at Brother Toby's party. Oh, no, man. Thank you, Phil. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you for I enjoyed one of the things I've enjoyed about doing podcasting, and also what I would know I will enjoy about this, is getting to know people better, because we've never had this much of a conversation before. I mean, now mind you, we talk, but we just haven't had a deep conversation like this. So it's good to kind of understand your journey. And for me, that I appreciate creatives. Like I feel like, you know, no shade to any of the non-creatives out there, but I feel like creatives specifically, we are a bit closer to God because He is a creator. So we've got that God gene in us because we can create.
God's favorite.
I didn't say it then, but I'll say it now. We are God's favorite, and the rest of the world is benefiting from our creativity. Now, those of you in tech, y'all also some creatives as well. You just create, you know, code and all of that stuff. So you can come up, you can be a part of the number, but no, like creatives, I feel like it's a special mind, and you know, there's a level of sensitivity that we have to have, especially when you're in the business of creating characters and stuff like that. And so sometimes we feel a lot more in real life than the average Joe because of what it is that we do. So I know it's not always the easiest to live with to live with that when you're not creating something. Like it's just on regular Monday and like, why am I feeling things, Lord?
Literally.
So I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and you guys. Make sure you are subscribed to Room 113 on YouTube. What's your personal YouTube so that we can go do some historical, you know, dig up some of these?
I think it's Phil Ossai, so PHIL.
Okay.
PHILOSSAI. But then there's also the Rom-Com guys. That's released all short films. That
So. The same on Instagram as well, right?
The Rom-Com guys. Phil Ossai, PHILOSSAI.
Well, thank you very much for watching. If you stuck around this long and you enjoyed this conversation, I hope you can drop a comment down. If you waited till the end of this video to subscribe, you know, I feel it, because sometimes you got to see the product before you buy it. Like, let me see what these are talking about.
You tried the whole meal and now, like, okay, I'll have that. Yeah.
What we gave you at the end was the dessert. We gave you the main course. That little improv section was like, there's some dessert. My apple crumble, praise the Lord. But no, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe. Subscribe. Drop a comment, turn on the notification bell on all the channels that you have heard about today. And, you know, if you want me to interview a creative that you know, drop their names in the comments as well, and I'd love to do that. Peace out.